Okay, so here we are. Thank you so much for coming. Great. Welcome to Awaken, Expand, and Align. And this is what I'm referring to as a virtual circle in these awakening times. So I want to get started. It's a little after 11 my time. And if you want, you can open the chat and just let me know where you're coming from. Maybe introduce yourself, and I'm going to do what I can to kind of stay connected to that. I don't multitask very well, so I'll come to it. But welcome everyone who's here. I so appreciate you making the time to be here. This is such an important time. And I know many of you are tuned in to what's happening. Those of you that aren't, I'm just going to briefly say a little bit about that, but I'm mostly here to know where you are in this interesting time on the planet today. But I'm going to briefly introduce myself, and then we're going to do a little grounding meditation, an intention setting meditation, just real short, but just to get the energy connected. And then I'm going to open to really a conversation more than anything. This is not a teaching. I'm not selling anything today. I mostly wanted to connect to my community. One of my intentions is to create community and to really align with, how can I best serve? And I think the best way for me to do that is to just show up. And I was really pulled to set this time aside to do that. So I'm Cindy Powers Prosser, those of you that don't know me. Originally from Northern California, about 21 years ago, moved to Gisborne. That's a whole story in itself. I allowed soul to guide me to this move. I didn't want to do it, but I knew I was supposed to. I have been intuitively guided by my heart my whole life. Always looked at as a little strange for that. But I think it's definitely my time to serve. I think this is a time for us to learn how and when to drop out of our hearts, out of our heads and into our hearts, and to let our souls lead. And that's a little bit about what I teach and what we're going to explore together today. But before we do, I want to invite you all to just take a moment. And I'm going to make sure everyone is muted here. Just take a moment and just breathe your eyes closed and just come into your body and just take a few slower than usual diaphragmatic breaths, big belly breaths, coming into this present moment, feeling into the energy of this circle of like-minded human beings having this experience here, this soul having a human experience here on earth during these amazing times of change. And just breathe in right now and just feel into some compassion first for yourself, for each other. Really connect with that compassion and that love right now. First for yourself. And be grateful that you're here connecting to others to explore and to expand our hearts so that we can ripple that love and that compassion out into the world, because certainly the world needs it now. Taking another nice big breath. And I'd like you to take a moment and set an intention for how would you like to navigate this hour together? How do you want to feel as we're circled up and connected and having this discussion from head to heart? What does that mean? And if you're here to connect with something within you that maybe you haven't been able to connect with, some answers, some wisdom, even just to connect with some love and compassion, set the intention that this will be easy. Feel into how it's going to feel when you're receiving exactly what you came here to get. Open your heart to receive, feel in with gratitude and grace. And when you're ready, you can breathe your eyes open and come back to our circle. So welcome from this place. Again, I'm Cindy Powers Prosser of Opening Doors Within, and I have been helping people lead with their hearts for the last 20 years. After I had a move from Northern California to Gisborne, New Zealand, I definitely cracked open my heart. Sometimes we have to go down to a very deep place before we can come up to a more expansive place. And that was my soul's journey of helping me to do just that. So without going into the depth of my story today, um, yeah, I have been on that soul's journey. And it took me 3 years to really do what I did to find myself in a much deeper, beautiful place, a loving place, and to see the world through that eyes. Because as many of you know, the world that we see today is just a reflection of the world that we have inside of us. And so when we can do the work in here to connect to love and compassion for ourselves, it's much easier to see the world through that lens of love and compassion as well. And right now, I think it's more important than ever to be able to have the tools to do that, to feel grounded, to feel connected, so that we can help others to feel connected as well and to feel grounded and connected as well. So, yeah, if you want, I would love to invite you to put in to the chat a little bit about why you came here, where you are today. And while you do that, I'm going to just kind of give a little background about what I see is happening in the world today. And then you guys can have a conversation with me here too. Um, I've been teaching this, I've been intuitively guided and I picked the perfect family to teach me this while I was growing up. I know we all have our greatest teachers, and they're often our parents and our siblings. But I have been guided to talk about the world on two game boards. One being domination, more head-based control, um, and it's more based in fear. And the other game board is what I've always referred to as dominion. And dominion is more unity consciousness, it's more heart-based, and it's based on love. And I've talked about this for a long time. And I also connect and learn through astrology. How many of you have connected to the astrological changes that are happening in the world today? Raise your hand if you do. Okay, great. So we'll be speaking the same language. If this is new to you, hang in there. There's a lot of information. It is based on some linear things. So it's head as well as heart astrology. But I've used it as a map for myself and for the world because my astrologist, who I've been connected with for 30 years, says to be forewarned is to be forearmed. It's not necessarily going to happen. We're the conduits to make it happen. That's why we're here in this body. But the energies are very real. And so the energies have actually happened just recently, and these energies have shifted recently into some times that haven't happened for hundreds of years. And I really truly believe that 2025 is the energy of shifting from domination to dominion for the world. I think everything's going to be a lot easier. I've been teaching this for 20 years, but I know now that everything is going to be a lot easier from what we've just experienced with the eclipse, with equinox, with this new moon that just happened. We're releasing a lot of old things that we have been carrying around, old stories, old programs. We've been integrating old wounds and letting go of the baggage. And that makes it a lot lighter and a lot easier to navigate from love, from abundance, from compassion. Again, and I'm always going to say, first for ourselves, we have to do the inner work for ourselves so that we can then help others to do the same. Um, Karen says, like everyone, I'm on a journey to wholeness. Yes, wholeness is a perfect word for that. And Lee, yes, expanding your knowledge and self-awareness. Yes. And I know those of you that are my clients, and I have done work with you in the past, I've been able to walk along on this soul's journey with you. Now, I may be using some words that may be triggering for you, like soul. And so that's just a term. We are energy in a body. I like to call that soul. But if that's not appropriate for you, then that's okay. You can just think of it as energy. We are vibrational frequency, and we have this body that we are vibrating in. And so, yeah, again, it's about shifting ourselves energetically so that we can shift the world energetically too. And we see the world differently with this different lens, this different perspective. Um, so here's kind of just the background of head and heart. So if you've been receiving my newsletters recently, I've been talking a lot about 2025 being the year of dropping out of your head and into your heart and allowing the heart to lead. Why is that important? The head is really important. We are in a human body and we have our head. So I don't want to give it a bad rap. I think ego gets a bad rap. It's really great for linear, three-dimensional world. Gathering information such as, balancing our checkbook, checking our time, checking our calendar. That's a really good time for us to be in our head. Anything that's linear is important, but anything that's not linear and we stay in our head, the head doesn't know what to do with emotions. It doesn't know how to read an intuition or feel in our body and know how to navigate that. So that's when it's important to drop out of our head and into our heart, into our body. And that's where emotional intelligence is really important, learning how to navigate our emotions so our emotions don't navigate us. And it's a lot of things that many of us are teaching in the world today. If we stay in our head, we get triggered in fear because the ego, the head doesn't know what to do with things that are not linear. And there's a lot of things going on that we don't know what to do with because we don't know we can't control the future. There's a lot of unknown happening right now. And so that's why a lot of us are spinning in fear. We're judging, we're, naming certain people and things that are bad or good or right or wrong. And that I'm not going to say that's an incorrect way to go, but I believe that's what's creating a lot of anxiety and a lot of separation in the world. And what I'm intuiting to be able to do better is to bring people together in harmony, in community, and in connection so that we can learn to listen, to understand, and to come together instead of separate. I think COVID was a really great example of that. I know I was one of those people that was able to use that as a catalyst to really let love lead rather than our differences lead. And I hope that many more have learned from that as well. Just because we disagree on something doesn't mean that we're have to be eliminating that person because love is so much more important than that discussion, I believe. And I'm hoping that I can help people to connect with that today in the world. So when we connect with our heart is more connected to trust in the unknown. It knows how to expand and imagine the world that we want to live in. What we give attention to, we will increase in the world. So if we give attention to what we don't want, then what happens is that we project that and create that scenario out there in the world in the future, in our future. So it's really important to notice what you're giving attention to, noticing what your stories are and what your words are when you're talking, what your beliefs are. And if we come back to our heart and we connect to love, and I know that's pretty esoteric, and can teach more about that, but we'll see what we get into today. But if we can touch into the center of our chest, and I'll take us into a meditation at the end there, coming into the center of our chest and connecting to more love and compassion, and learn to listen with curiosity, to understand, it opens us to a whole new world of possibility, of opportunity, and of ease and grace. And I believe that is our whole purpose of coming here, to connect with the deepest truth within us so that we can navigate from that place that I just shared. So I'm not going to talk through all of this because really I opened this discussion to find out so where you are. So let's see. Rob says, I have made great strides into trusting the heart and still have more room to grow on this path. Hence why the description appealed for today. Yes, the mind constantly judges and labels, yet the heart is present now. That is so true. To be present now is the most important skill that we can, one of the most important skills that we can attain. To be present. I teach a class and I have a talk on consciously creating your future. And I love that. To become a conscious creator is wonderful, but we do that in the present. So one of the topics that's been coming up is new timelines. You know, we get to choose our future. So this is going to be kind of fun play. Bring your inner child to this part of the discussion. I think that we need to be able to dream and desire and play and use our imagination. Our imagination is one of our number one tools to consciously create our reality and our future. And I think it's a really important tool, dreaming and desiring the future that we want to create. Instead of swirling in stories of what's not working and pointing our finger into things and people that trigger us and blame them for the reason we are not feeling in harmony, that's a real powerless place to be. And maybe I was given my middle name for a reason, Powers, because I like to say we need to take our power back. And our power back is pointing the finger in here. What is my part in what's going on in here? How might I be creating the chaos in my life? And what is this trying to teach me about myself? I've always believed that the most difficult people in our life are our greatest teachers. And so instead of going to the question of why is this happening to me, I think it's a much more empowering question. Why is this happening for me? Why did I choose this person into my life? What are they here to teach me? What am I ready to let go of? The stories, the victimhood, the blame, the worry, the doubt. It's just something to kind of ponder and to think about. Um, when we are able to drop out of our head, which is where the fear and the competition and the struggle is always started, and into our heart, and see that person or that situation through love's eyes, there's possibility there. There's opportunity for growth. And it's much more powerful if you can lead the way. It's not about them changing so that you feel better. What if you could actually shift your energy to more grace, more compassion, more love? It's amazing what will happen to the people around you. They feel that change. They want to know what just happened. And all of a sudden, the nagging, complaining, victim-based story that they were going to tell just disappears, and they don't even know what they were going to say because you've shifted the energy within you, which rippled out into the world to them. That's how we change the world. That's how we navigate this chaos. So why are we going through chaos? Well, we've got the domination and we've got the dominion. Domination, head-based, patriarchal control and manipulation for the greed of a small amount of people has been in process for a long time. Would you agree? And we have just been programmed to think that that was normal. But guess what? It's changing. COVID, again, really stirred the pot and got people to kind of see how we were being controlled and manipulated to follow someone else's suggestions or even harsher sometimes rules. And they may not have felt in alignment with you. Something might have intuitively felt off. That is your body telling you, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right for me. We're not taught how to feel into our intuition. We've been taught how to feel into our head, to listen to that, and to look outside of ourselves to outside authority to tell us what to do. We're taught that in all of our industries, education, medication, in health, in politics, in how to invest our money, how to live our life. And it's kind of fallen apart right now. All those industries, all of those ways that we have been taught how to live our life that were normal are all starting to fall apart. And they, just like me, when I moved to Gisborne over 20 years ago, had it all has to fall apart so that we can put it back together in a much more conscious place, in a way that is going to suit the world in a lot better way in the future. And that's what's going on right now. And you too, my friends, are falling apart as well. We're changing. It's not just energy either. Our body's changing, our structure's changing. Again, we won't go into all the details, but you can find out more about that from me and others. We are in transition, and transition's uncomfortable, right? Not being able to control, not knowing what's going to happen is really uncomfortable. And like I said in my last newsletter, if those of you that read it, many people are allowing that discomfort of the unknown to go into fear because the ego wants to control. It needs to know what to do. And if it doesn't know what to do, then it goes into all the what ifs. It goes into stories that aren't even true. It creates its own lies of what could happen, and people are wrong or right or good or bad. Let's see. Teresa says, I'm finding my comfort zone is actually uncomfortable. Yes, yes, it is uncomfortable. And it can be scary to come into our heart and listen to our intuitive guidance because it is letting go, it is surrendering. And sometimes it doesn't fit the norm. We're different. We're challenging others to think for themselves as well. And it is uncomfortable and it is scary. I get it. I mean, just speaking like this to you guys, it's a big deal, even though I know it with every cell in my body, what I'm saying is in alignment with me. But not everybody's going to be ready for this. Not everybody's going to be in alignment with this. And that's okay too. We're all going at our own level. I am not here to change anyone. That is not my job. I'm not a guru. I am just sharing what I know to be true for me. And if it's in alignment with you, and I can spark you up in any way and light the light inside of you and expand your heart to more love and compassion, then I know I've done what I've come to do. We have to trust in the timing, Lee says. Yes. And Rob says, a time of letting go, to surrender and feel. And it is a time to let it go and to surrender and feel. And it can be challenging. I know that many of my clients, including myself, okay, so I've been gone for a couple of years and not really doing this work with others because I've been doing this with myself again and with my family members. I've had some huge upheaval over the last 6 months in my family where people have been challenged and gone into anxiety and fear. And I've been there to hold space for them, like I do for my clients, but I've been doing it with, people that really mean a lot to me. And I know a lot of people, especially with that eclipse. We had an eclipse a few weeks back, and that eclipse was all about shifting so that anything that is not serving us for our highest or best good, which are old stories that have been passed down for generations, generational trauma, generational wounds, the way we perceive the world in fear, all of these things are starting to not work. And what just happened over the last 6 weeks has been really powerful energetically, and that stuff is not sticking anymore. The world is changing so that all the dominating power over control and fear-based energies are, it's almost like their batteries are running out. It's kind of like the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz got water thrown on her and she's dying. It's what's going on with domination right now. And we're going to notice that in all of these industries that I've shared. War is going to be gone. We're not going to be doing war in 5 or 10 years. I really believe that. New technologies will be able to come to the surface for health, for communication, for so many new things from this young new adulthood that is happening. These guys are amazing. And they're going to be, I've heard so many things already coming to the surface around power, electricity, clean water being made quickly and for free. This is the stuff that we're going to be seeing. The possibilities and opportunities are endless. We don't know. We don't know any really what's going to happen, except in my heart, I know it's going to be a better world. And I want you to feel what I'm feeling too. And that is why I'm having this call. If I can just ripple out a little bit of hope and promise to you in that we are going in that direction, but we are coming, it's all falling apart so that it can then come together in a whole new way. How many of you believe this, like what I'm sharing? Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. So let's see, what else? Tell me what's coming up for you guys. I really want to have this conversation with you. Is there anything that we can, okay. So Teresa, do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Yes.
Well, I'm just going to look at the demographic of this call and just say, I've got kids, I see what's coming through for them. And my question is, or my hope is that we can come together as holding space for these young people who are going to bring these new things through. And I've come from the old system that I used to teach marketing and advertising, and it came to a point where I couldn't even talk anymore because I couldn't believe the stuff anymore. And so everything sort of spiraled out like that.
Yes.
So I don't know where my place is. I love the name of this virtual community because I'm looking for alignment, and I believe it's through community and connection. So through things like this. So my soul's telling me just connect with as many people as possible. So that, because it's what's happening is not in the mainstream. It's like, I thought to Mike, it's like the French resistance or something. And but it's happening and you can feel it. And the more we rise and shine, that's why we're seeing all this interesting theater. So that's what I'm looking for, is connection. And how can we, being the older people, given we know, and we were part of a system, but seeing it differently. So
yeah. Yeah, it's a revolution. I get it. I absolutely get it. And I'm right with you. And my intention, and I know a few other people here because I've spoken to a few of us, is to create more community so that we can do this. This is why I was drawn to create this virtual circle today. And if this goes on, I want to do it every month. I mean, I absolutely want to have space to have this level of conversation and to support each other, lift each other as we climb together. Absolutely. And I know what you said about the marketing. So one of my closest new friends in my new community also was in marketing, and she's just writing a book called Heartpreneur. And it's all about doing marketing in this new consciousness. And I'm just so excited to hear what she's creating. And It's what this is my marketing, like play with me. And if you want to learn, great, but I'm not going after anyone. I'm going to bring it to me because of who I be, not so much about what I do. And yes, you've got to show up on social every now and then and put out the newsletter so people can feel your beingness. But yeah, it's so much more about the energy of who we be. And what you said about being the lighthouse, that's a metaphor that I've been using quite a bit. If we can find our light and shine brightly, people feel that and they see that. In fact, I was called a lighthouse in actually a community gathering not that long ago. There were about 100 people, and somebody said, "You are a light in this room, and I want to know you." And I know it's because I shine my love, and I'm not afraid of shining bright. And I think if we all do that, then we can find each other. We've been dimming down for way too long. The old marketing has been manipulated. It's been dominating. It's been controlling, right? It was icky the second I ever was introduced to it. And there were strategies. Now I think that the new way of doing business is really, connecting from the heart. I mean, I'm even using my pendulum to see what I'm charging these days. I mean, I'm really having fun playing with this energy and this new way of being. So, and I think what you said about the children, I'm an early childhood educator and parent educator for my first 50 years on the planet or 40 years on the planet. So I'm very, very in line with this new age of children coming. I have 4 young grandchildren myself. And I truly believe we're all here because we said, send me. I want to be there during this amazing time. And those that are leaving us are not meant to be here. I trust in this process. And these children, these young adults that are here, they are here for a reason. I believe many are ascended masters coming back. I truly believe that there's a high frequency and we choose our parents and our parents choose us. It's a soul family. And this is all me. You guys, if this is way too woo for you, just let it go. Let it go. But I truly believe that we get these kids and we are their parents and grandparents for a reason. And all we need to do is be authentic and meet them where they are. We're not here to change anyone. We're not here to teach anything. We're here to role model it. With it, people ask for tools and suggestions. I have 1,000 of them. I love to teach. I'm a teacher by trade. But our number one role is just to be here to be love and to role model what it feels like to create community and be in community and listen to learn, not listen to defend. That's what I think we need to be for our children and our grandchildren. I had this reading yesterday. I don't do readings. I very rarely do readings, but this opportunity came for a really good price. The guy had been highly recommended, and I opted for this reading in August. And he had such a lineup that I got it yesterday, which just happened to be before this call. And it was great because I got to talk to a guide. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, probably all of you are. And Metatron came through and I just asked all these questions and I said, so tell me about these young new children. And I said, how can I best support them and be the light for them? And of course, they're guiding me. They literally are the guides. I'm just the follower. And he said, all you have to do is just get on your knees and play. Meet them right where they are. And we need more joy. We need more laughter. Laughter is the vibration that this planet needs right now. It needs laughter. It needs joy. It needs fun. And that's what these children are here to teach us. And we have an inner child inside of us. Just because we're not 2 or 3 or 4 or 7 anymore physically, we have the energy of that inner child inside of us. And so, yeah, bring that inner child out and use your curiosity and go out in nature and explore. I mean, I can't wait to get to know more about what's hiding in the energy of nature. I have always been a nature lover, and oh my gosh, with the work of Veda Austin and so many others, with the consciousness of water and um, hang on, I'll think of it. You guys, I know you've listened to it too. The what do you think when you read someone's mind? Conspiracy. I can't. The
Like
telepathy.
remote
The
viewing.
telepathy takes the
Remote viewing.
telepathy. The telepathy. I that I if you guys haven't heard the podcast, the telepathy tapes, that is the future. That is the future. They don't speak. That's too slow for them. They don't have a body that works that way. These are people that are with autism. They're called aut, aut, autists. Autists. That's what they call themselves. And these autists have this whole network of telepathy. So the telepathy tapes are amazing. And I believe we all have that. I know we all have that possibility. And with the work that Veda Austin's doing with water as consciousness, nature, everything as consciousness, we are able to have a conversation with everything through telepathy, through energy. And I'm so excited about that. One thing that I said to, I just put it on social. I won't get into social because I've had challenges with that, but I do love it. Um, I believe that our consciousness, who we be in here, soul, our consciousness is so much more powerful than anything happening out there, any leader, any war. If we can connect with our consciousness and allow our consciousness to lead, miracles literally happen. And I know if you guys are energy workers and light workers, you have many stories about miracles in your life as I do. Consciousness, belief, working with our thoughts and our beliefs and our energy, our consciousness, we can create anything. And I want you guys to know that. So anybody who's been connected with or triggered by fear, and we all will be, I mean, I have been too. What I suggest is just recognize it when fear enters your body or when a good colleague of mine just announced on a group call like this yesterday that her husband is leaving her. And I mean, it was so vulnerable for her to share that, but it was real. Authenticity is so important right now. And she is creating community and love and compassion by sharing something that real in a community that she trusts. And I hope you understand that. Not everybody you can trust because they're not there yet. But when we're at this level of love and compassion, we're here for each other. And it just touched my heart deeply for her to share at that level. She doesn't know what she's going to do, but she trusts that it's all going to work out. And that is what I'm here to share. We have different futures, and they're all created in each now moment. And if we can use our imagination, our desire and imagination, actively imagining the future we want to create, not especially in form. Don't be attached to the how or the what or the who. That's out there. The magic happens in here. So when we can connect to the feeling of how it's going to feel when we find the beloved, first, find the beloved in here so that you can give love from a healthy place. Always here first. If you want more love in your life, love begins in here. Find your sacred heart. Breathe into your chest. Open that portal of love. Forgive your past. Put your arms around that little girl or that little boy and love that part of you that has been struggling. Love, self-love is so important. It's not, it's getting a lot of talk right now. It's my favorite topic, but self-love is all about loving all the parts of you. The ego that doesn't know what to do is spinning in fear. Love it too. It's doing the best it knows how. And if we can connect with the love within us or with the freedom, like freedom, if you want more freedom in the world, feel freedom. What does freedom feel like to you? Envision the freedom in your life. Envision communities like this coming together, creating schools, creating opportunities for sharing, education, growing food, whatever it is you want more of. Use your imagination and actually be in your active imagination in your body, feeling it, hearing it, smelling it in each now moment. It's powerful. That's how we manifest. That's how we consciously create and choose the timeline that we're going to be on. Because there's going to be a lot of futures, and there are going to be a lot of futures on the earth. And I'm thinking, those people that aren't ready for this, that's okay too. They're going to be in their own future. They're going to be in their own world. And it may still feel struggle and victim and blame. But that's their world. We don't need to participate in that world, and we don't need to do anything to try to change them. They're on their own timeline. But we can get connected and get clear with, how do we want to live? Who are we becoming? And who do we want to connect with? And what does the conversation sound like and feel like when we're there? How does it work? How does it feel like to work together for a new beginning, a new, building houses together, or, creating new healthcare? We don't even know what it looks like. We don't know what the inventions are going to be, but we know what it's going to feel like when we're there, right? It's expansive. It's exciting. It's hopeful. And we're grateful for it. And gratitude is something we can tap into in every moment. And just know that the gratitude will expand and expand and expand if we choose that timeline for ourselves. All right, you guys, more feedback. Does anybody want to share? I want to hear some talk from someone else. Rob, do you have something to share? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, I
There you
like
go.
what you said about feeling the fear. So I used to use positive thinking years ago to escape anxiety and emotions that I didn't understand, but yeah, that's my journey, and I teach now a process of really feeling the pain body and dropping into it, and that's freedom to really allow and let it out. And so I like what you said before. So
Yeah. Bravo for doing that work with others. We have to feel it to release it. And the key is not to go into the story of it, as the story just creates more. Let go of the story. It's done. Feel the anger, feel the sadness, feel the pain, and release it from your body. I love that you're doing this work.
I
Thank you
was,
so much.
I was going to say that to conclude that is that our uncomfortable emotions are doors to healing. I'm a big believer, and yeah. So brilliant. So if we reframe them as that, rather than escaping our uncomfortable emotions, but allowing them to be felt and dropping into them and going under them and releasing the layers, and that's freedom of letting out the pain body. So thank you.
Beautifully shared. And isn't it true that once you release one, there's another one underneath? And then you feel that, and then you release that or expand it. If it's a good one, like if it's freedom, then you expand that one. But yeah, often what I've found anyway is when I release the anger, then there'll be sadness underneath it. And then I feel the sadness, and then I release that, and there might be something else. It's so great. Again, I just want to thank you so much, especially a man doing this emotional work is so needed. It's so needed. And I'm so grateful for the work that you're doing.
Thank you. And I said to conclude before, but yeah, that process of going under it and feeling more whatever's there and going down, letting it out until there's no more there. I talk of it as icebergs, that we feel what's above the surface and often push it down. But if we go down and release until there's actually, whether that be crying or sadness, just letting it out, and until there's not anymore there. And then we feel there's a calm, and that's when we've offloaded a big iceberg of the pain body. And that's the philosophy that I can say. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Like I said, you guys, this is getting easier and easier as the energy changes. Right, Rob? It is, and we're talking about it so mainstream now. This is powerful. This is the way to heal. And I don't even use heal anymore. It's a way to transition because we're not sick, we're not broken. We just have been holding on to these pain bodies. And I love that you can't change anything you don't see. So it's important to actually be, again, there's that honest, authentic, real part of ourself. It's a way to live now. Yes, Lee. This is a way to live now, to spend time feeling, dropping out of our head into our body. And what am I feeling? What wants to come up? To be seen, to be felt, to be loved. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just our emotion. And to feel it and love it and let it go. Great, great. Who else? Who else wants to share? I know we've got some wisdom in this room. Any questions for me? Anywhere where you feel stuck, that we've got some experts in this room. Any celebrations? I love celebrations because that's what we expand. I'll just take a moment and talk about celebrations. Maybe that'll get something coming up. Celebrate what we give attention to, we create more of. So if you believe life is hard and you have to struggle to get anywhere, that's what you will create. Okay, so just notice your story, notice your beliefs. And is it really true? Okay, there's a whole bunch of work that we can do around that, but that's not where I want to go. What I want to go today is when you have something to celebrate, something that's working, something that is a full double thumbs yes, we want to celebrate that because what we give attention to, there, even Zoom is celebrating with me. What we give attention to, we will expand. So when you have a win, celebrate it and really feel into, the gratitude, the joy, the expansion in your heart, and really look at what you did so that you can do it again. Take some time and really be with that beautiful thing that just happened. And really take the moment to celebrate. I just think it's so important. It's the same thing as grateful. They are expansive emotions. The more you give attention to, the more you will create things to celebrate and to be grateful for. Does anybody have anything they want to celebrate here together? It's much more powerful with more. Lee, you have something to celebrate. You just bought a new house. We can celebrate that. You found your new home, your future home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, found that. And it certainly is something to celebrate. Interestingly, it's come with a lot of other stuff that's come up, but and that's what I put in the wee thing there, that, the timing, the timing's always perfect. You have to trust in the timing. And the timing for us to let go of a lot of other stuff has dovetailed with the buying of the house. The timing is perfect.
Players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something else to look at.
Yeah, you bet. It's, you think, oh God, this isn't straightforward, but then you kind of go, well, actually, this is quite exciting to get this sorted as well. Just stuff inside. And
I love that you turned it around instead of why is this happening to me and getting frustrated. Why is this happening for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it certainly. I think initially the frustration comes up, and it's a muscle memory, isn't it? It happens. If it's happened quite a bit, you tend to just flick straight back into that. But with the work that I've done with you, a lot, over the years. Yeah, it's definitely, you definitely feel that that this is actually quite an exciting thing to happen, and so yeah, just to trust in the timing of it all, I think is so important, and to trust in the process as well. Trust in the process as well. Trust is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. Everything is a choice. Do I choose frustration and get frustrated and make this a problem? Or do I get curious and see it as an opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yay. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
So I'm looking at the time. I can't believe how quickly this hour went. I promised you a quick heart opening meditation, and I'm going to do that now. And if I go a couple minutes over, I apologize. I'll try to make this as small. I can make this, an hour long, and I can make it 5 minutes long. So we're going to do a quick one today, but I just want to help you and end this by dropping into our heart. And I'm going to show you a little tool that I use. So if you would, just put everything down and invite your head now to drop down into your heart with a nice big diaphragmatic breath. Beautiful. And wow, where am I going to take this? Just keep breathing and feeling everything that we have just explored together. And if it feels right, I'd like to invite you to put one hand on the center of your chest, right below your collarbone. And just breathe into this beautiful area right here. This is what I refer to as your sacred heart. This is a portal to your soul, a portal to love. And I just want to invite you to breathe into this beautiful portal of love while you allow it to expand by touching down on anything that it was expansive for you in this conversation. Anything that opened you up to more freedom, more curiosity, more opportunity, more softness, more spaciousness, an inner calmness, and more trust. Just breathe into this portal to your love. I like to sometimes see this as a little hollowed out room here, the Sacred Heart. And in some retreats, I'll give it a little door, a beautiful little door with a little doorknob, and I open the door and I enter this sacred room, this portal of love, the Sacred Heart. And in this room, there is an altar. And on this altar, there is a candle. And on the candle is a flame. This flame represents the light that you are. You are pure light. This light will never go away. Now, once your time having this human experience is over, you will return to this light, this energy. It is a high vibrational frequency of light. And you are a beacon when you shine that light in the world. A beacon of light for others to see. So take a breath into this portal of light and love, your Sacred Heart, and expand that light with each breath. And just see and feel that light growing around you and glowing within you and around you with each breath. Beautiful. Igniting the light within you. Now, beside that candle on that little table is a pink diamond. And the pink diamond represents the love that you are. You are pure love, just for being you. Pure love and pure light. That is the essence of you. Energy in a body, soul in a body, light and love in a body. And when you decided to come into this world and the sperm entered the egg, it ignited that light and that love, and it is right there within you, in the body. So I want you to take a moment now and breathe into the pink diamond and expand and feel the love within you. With each breath, connect deeper and deeper within the love that you are just for being you. And breathe in again. And as you do, you will commingle this love and this light, the essence of who you are, pure love and pure light. Sometimes I see it as a beautiful pink swirling light, expanding within you, expanding around you, and holding you and caressing you and reminding you that you are perfect just the way you are. And the more you connect to your truth, to your authentic, honest truth within you, and allow your intuition, that truth within you, to guide you, the more love and light you will be connecting with and sharing with others. Be a natural, just a natural thing. Dropping out of your head and into your body, into your heart, and allowing this North Star to guide you and to lead the way. It's subtle and it can be frightening. Its messages are not always safe, but they're good. They're real and they're meant for you to take risks, to speak your truth, and to love all parts of you, especially the shame and the pain. So feel the love for all parts of you. Forgive the past and feel into the freedom, the compassion, the excitement, the creativity, the connection of your future, the inspiration coming from this inner guidance within, and allow it to lead you into a whole new beginning, a whole new way of living. First within yourself, then on earth with others. And taking another nice big breath, coming back into your body and into feeling your bottom on the seat, and coming back into the room and into our call. And if anybody wants to say anything, please unmute yourself. I'd love to hear your voice and experience your energy, even if it's just thank you to everyone. Final words?
Thank you. It was a beautiful boost today to refocus and be reminded of some things. So thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. It's lovely as usual. Yeah. and very meaningful for me at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for connecting. And know I'm here, Karen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cindy. It's been really lovely to connect with all of you. I think it's, as Cindy pointed out, I think it's a really important thing to do, to know who's out there that we can connect with.
Thank you, Lee. And Karen and Teresa, one more last. I know you're in an airport, Karen. You don't need to say anything. You can just throw kisses. Thank you. Teresa.
Well, what I wanted to say was thank you for this, but I also wanted to thank you in person. That's as close as we can be in person, because you sent an email or a newsletter, I think it was an email, 3 years ago, when the fear and the panic was happening on the world stage. And that email changed direction for me. It gave me hope, and it made me feel like I wasn't alone in my thinking. And the reason why I really want to thank you is because sometimes or often we send out messages to the world and we don't get feedback, and we don't know the ripple effect, or we just get the negative, or we just get our family members saying, calling us names or whatever. But that email gave me strength to know my truth. And so I'll never forget that. And so that's for everyone, that if we speak our truth, know there's lots of positive things that's happening, even when we're getting maybe negative feedback, or maybe it's just people's fear of the truth. And so that's their reaction. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. All I can say is thank you right now. I'm speechless, and I'm so grateful you shared. It's why I keep showing up. And you just reinforced it again. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that is true. We are a ripple. We can ripple out pain and fear and struggle, or we can ripple out love and freedom and courage. And I'm so grateful for you to continue with the ripple, Teresa. Thank you, all of you, so much for coming. And if I did this if I did this on a regular basis monthly, would you be interested? Okay, I'm going to keep it going. I just think it's too important. Community is where it's at. Sending you all love, and I'll send you the recording to this too. All right. Thank you again for coming. Bye for now.